State of the Nation address with big promises to improve government services even beyond public expectations. The Philippine president acknowledging a poor showing in recent midterm elections that he saw as reflecting dismay at the performance of his administration. Ferdinand Marcos Jr. making clear he intends to address inadequacies in every aspect of governance, promising more jobs, housing, a wider healthcare coverage, support for students, for farmers, and improvements to energy and water systems. President Marcos repeating a stance he has been known to adopt when asked to take sides between larger powers.
Then, as now, our foreign policy remains the same. The Philippines is a friend to all. The Philippines is an enemy to none. That will be our main focus as we, the Philippines, host the ASEAN Summit in 2026.
While Mr. Marcos also addressed a string of recent deadly natural disasters, he provided no concrete plans for a better response. There's also no mention of his Vice President Sara Duterte, who has conducted a public feud with the leader, despite an early alliance which brought both to office in 2022. The Vice President and those in the Senate allied with her family were not in attendance. And for more, CNA's Buena Bernal joins us live from Metro Manila. Buena, what stood out for you in Mr. Marcos's State of the Nation address?
Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. putting an effort in strengthening local industries, considering that the Philippine economy is highly insular, driven by domestic consumption. In fact, local MSMEs comprise 40% of the country's GDP and 60% of total employment. So Mr. Marcos was saying and promising assistance to them and lower rates for government loans extended to them. But beyond local businesses, the World Bank has actually urged the Philippines to become more integrated in global supply chains. So in that speech that lasted an hour and 12 minutes, we hear Mr. Marcos urging the international business community to direct investments to the country.
My single resounding message to the international business community is this: the Philippines is ready. Invest in the Filipino. Our cavalcade of dependable and hardworking Filipinos, innately skilled, adaptable, and possessed with a heart for service are here, ready to work and to succeed with you.
But overall, still, that speech zoomed in on gut issues, obviously directing its messaging to a domestic audience, talking about education, social protection, health, infrastructure, and flood control. And you see there Mr. Marcos really seemingly trying to address public dismay that was evidenced by the poor showing of candidates he backed during the midterm elections last May. In fact, making a reference to that election results, he said the government must do better, must perform better for the people. And given that his approval rating tanked in a survey prior to the May elections, this was an opportunity for him to score political points, and that he did. He did not make a direct reference to his political nemesis, embattled-sitting Vice President Sara Duterte, but he did make subtle jabs. For example, he jokingly praised the police chief, Nicolas Torre III, as being a champion boxer after the police chief actually accepted a verbal challenge from the son of the former president, Rodrigo Duterte, for a brawl that never materialized. As another indirect jab at the vice president, daughter of the former president, he also said that his administration was able to buy public school teachers laptops to digitize their work without kickbacks or corruption. And that's given the backdrop of fund misuse allegations against Vice President Duterte, and that remark was met by a long applause at the Congressional Hall.
All right, so that applause in Congress, but given that this speech is a chance for him, as you say, to score political points, while he also needs to sidestep some issues he may not want to specifically mention, what are the initial reactions you have seen to his speech?
It really depends on who you ask. The Makati Business Club Executive Director Afa Ongpin in a televised interview said he appreciated how the president laid out social problems and how his administration has addressed it. For example, Mr. Marcos mentioned how there are now over 50 multi-specialty health centers in the Philippines that are able to do ambulatory operations, able to do laboratory tests without going through either the primary care centers or the tertiary hospitals. He also mentioned how for the first time in history, the Philippines now has one doctor per locality, meaning per municipality and city. He mentioned how over 22,000 classrooms were built under his administration so far, and he plans to build over 40,000 more. But then the Workers' Party, One Manggagawa, Partido Manggagawa, said that it seemed like a checklist of what government is already expected to do, and therefore what the public needs are concrete plans and not really an outline of departmental functions.
All right, thanks for that. Buena Bernal there reporting live just there from Metro Manila on the State of the Nation address by the Philippine president.